blah, 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 blah. I can't hear myself anymore. That's good.
Yeah. Hey, well, where's your phone at? Do the IG live. Nick, do your IP mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Welcome to week 3.
Can hear it? Oh.
Okay.
Friday Night Lights is brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Well, welcome to week 3 of Friday Night Lights. Nick Canizales alongside Nicky Latterillo. Of course, last Friday, our game of the week, absolutely incredible. Could tonight top it?
You have two teams that played back-to-back overtime games in recent years. Both of them also have a really good defense, so something had to give.
Yeah, the Rockets have scored 102 points in their first 2 games. Could Troy somehow slow them down? Hey, could we see 3 overtime games in a row with the Game of the Week championship trophy on the line? This game, all fireworks early. Tied at 14, Zach Urbashik takes the handoff on the first play of the second quarter. He goes up the B gap, cuts to his left towards the sideline, sheds a would-be tackler, and nothing but paradise in front of him. 65 yards. It's 21-13 Trojans. Robinson would answer. Joseph McHenry in the gun. Fires down the right side. Nice catch and concentration by Jordan Rogers. Hits the user catch button. 38 yards for the touchdown. They would tie it on the 2-point conversion. 3 minutes before the half. McHenry dropping back, scrambles, finds Lane down the sideline. He is gone. Nobody's going to catch him. 61 yards. Rockets take a 28-21 lead, but not so fast, my friends. Just before the half, Trojans would answer through the air, 50 yards from Ben Presley to Sam Jones. This one tied at 28. It went back and forth. Right now, we are in the fourth quarter. Robinson leading 56-35.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Well, Curtis Quillen has been at this game from the very beginning. He joins us live from Trojan Stadium, where right now it is a great game. Curtis.
Yeah, Nick, right as you were saying the score, they actually awarded a touchdown to Robinson. So now we're looking at 62-35 as the Rockets are lining up for the PAT. 6:26 still to play. Robinson has seized momentum in the fourth quarter. It was a 7-point game going into the fourth after Troy scored to make it 42-35, but this fourth quarter has been all blue and white. Robinson with 20 unanswered points. Let's see what the signal is on the PAT. There's a penalty, so we'll find out in a second. 20 unanswered points for Robinson to start the fourth quarter. They've got a 62-35 lead and have seized momentum in our game of the week. But if we've learned anything from the first half, Nick, because that first half was all fireworks in this one. One team scores, the other one answers, another one, and then another answer, and another answer to get a 28-28 tie at halftime. Troy is more than capable of tying this game with 6.5 minutes left to play. So there's still a lot of football and a lot that can happen in that time. We'll keep you posted on this one on the air and online on Twitter and at KCENTV.com and the Channel 6 mobile app. But, Nick, we'll check in with you here in just a little bit. For now, we're live at the game of the week at Trojan Stadium in Troy. Curtis Quillen, Channel 6 Sports.
All right, Curtis, we'll actually get back to you here coming up later on tonight. Let's stay in Class 4A. Defending state champion VEGA had a tough go-around against Argyle last week.
The Pirates were hoping to bounce back against Austin LBJ, who beat them by 3 last season, and VEGA head coach Don Hyde said last week's loss did not mean a single thing to them, especially with district play starting next month. Landry Kinney gets the snap for VEGA, passes to Alicia Cummings, nearly jukes Jay Riggins from LBJ out of his shoes and gets tackled Kinney again. A bullet from Chambliss by Jakeem Maxwell. He loses the ball. Oh, LBJ recovers. Okay.
This one is definitely a heavy defensive game, like Cole Johnson was telling us. Look at that score. 21-7 La Vega. They win barely, though. Great measuring stick game for China Spring. Played host to number 4 Connally. Brayden Faulkner for China Spring gets the snap. Looking to pass. Runs across, but he is blocked by Connolly's Kavion Gaither. Oh, look, Gaither right here. He gets a snap, going to launch a bomb downfield. Jawan forward for the touchdown. China Spring is on top right there. Well, that's Connally. It's a China Spring here. Faulkner, the pass over to Jacob Grolowski. Gaining some major yards on this one. And then Faulkner gets the snap, hands the ball up to Major Bowden, runs up the middle for the touchdown. Right now, late fourth quarter, number 4 Connally holding on 21-20. Wow.
All right, Gatesville was still looking for their first win of the season. Tonight they squared off against number 3 Cameron Yo. First quarter, Yeoman ball, Braden Bashir, bubble screen to Kobe Young. Wow, what a juke touchdown, 7-0. More Yo. Brad Shear slip screen to Thomas Melton. First down. Same drive, Bashir.
Ooh, look at that's nice right there.
There we go. Now this, here we go, same drive. Time in the pocket. Deep ball down the boundary, hits Jaden Sanchez, touchdown. It was 14-0 Yo,
wow.
but that one ended 68-27. Oh wait, just fourth quarter, but that's a big one.
Yeah, it looks like Yo's going to win this one. Scores from our Class 4A. Malakoff defeats Mejia 17-14. Lorena and Lampasas, a good one. 31-30 late in fourth quarter. Salado all over Austin Travis, 50-0.
And we're just getting started here on Friday Night Lights. When we come back, we'll dive into Class 6A.
All right, welcome back. You know, we know that Midway head coach Jeff Hume, he does not shy away from competition.
Even though his Panthers are 0-2, he knows playing a difficult non-district schedule will help his team when district play rolls around.
Yeah, you know, 12-6A started tonight. Midway squaring off against the Roos from KILLEEN. First quarter action, Kendarius Marshall taking the handoff move. Look at those couple of moves. That's right there, the L2 button on the PS4. 36 yards and a Roof first down. He was rumbling tonight, folks. I'm telling you. Next play, Reggie Williams. He goes 11 yards for the touchdown, and KILLEEN up early 7-0. So Midway trying to get something going on offense here. Jarrett Moore back to pass, but look at Taekwon Scobie coming in with a massive sack. Roos led 7-0 after 1 quarter of play, but Midway, they would wake up and look at this score, 35-7. I think that's 35 straight district wins for the Panthers.
All right, now we're going to head out to Leo Buckley Stadium where Harker Heights faced off with Temple.
You know, Temple had a big win last week. Look at this.
Wow, that's some great defense.
Did not fool anybody on that quarterback keeper. And they're going to take the handoff to the right side.
He's going to go all the way.
I think so.
Yep.
I think you're right.
Yep, there he is.
7-0 Temple Wildcats on top. You know, their team that's got a lot of studs in their team.
Here comes Harker Heights. Their defense really on the money tonight.
Yeah. And
there we go.
Looks
Temple
like Wildcats get the ball back here. A little bubble screen. Nice blocking, goes outside. Let's go to the big board here and see how this turned out. It was all Temple on this one, 37-3. All right, went to this game earlier. Two teams in search of their first win of the season. Waco High taking on Ellison. Now, second quarter, Ellison leading 3-zip. They're going for the fake punt. Stacy Brown to his right, Chris Uresti, but can't hold on. That's turnover on downs. Lions trying to score before the half. Davion Long looking for a wide open receiver, but he gets crushed by Everett Rogers and Navorian Thompson. This is a low-scoring game tonight. 16-zip Ellison with the win.
The Belton Tigers were in search of their first win of the season as they traveled to square off against Coppers Cove.
All right, it's like the Tigers on offense here, making some big yardage, Nikki.
He goes right into the end zone.
Yeah, for that early touchdown there. Coppers Cove, they're trying to come back here and try to answer.
We'll fake it out. Nope, that defense.
Good defense. That's a good play by the cornerback. Let's see if Cove can get anything going on.
Oh, the interception.
Wrong Cove jersey.
Wow.
Look at this. High-scoring game.
And 62-40 Belton in the fourth quarter.
Wow. Over in District 5-5A, University travel to face Burleson, and the Trojans, they fall tonight 52-13. All right, Nikki, time to announce our Battle of the Bands winner. It was kind of close.
Okay. But this week, Ellison faced off against Midway, and after a few days of voting, the viewers have spoken.
Congratulations goes out to the McLean Kangaroos. Yep. Take a listen. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
I have no followers, but we're just going to let them.
Both. Both. I just texted you.
All right, there's one team around the area that's lighting up the scoreboard the past 2 weeks. You want to take a guess? Rogers Eagles.
Yep, it's Rogers. The Eagles put up 63 points last week against Bruceville Eddy and then 55 back in week 1 against Academy. Tonight they squared off against 2-0 McGregor at Merck Field. First quarter, hand off to Jordan Riley. He runs the ball, breaks through a swarm of Bulldogs for the touchdown. Here he goes. He's pushing through and touchdown. They missed the extra point, so it was 6-0, but McGregor ball. McDaniel's pass is intercepted by Joshua Minor. He takes the ball to around the 10-yard line. Here he goes. Here he goes.
Oh, nice return
All
right there. Very nice.
And then next play, Christian Riley steps over a few guys, just strolls right into the end zone. 2-point conversion was good, so it was 15-0 at that point. Let's see where it is now.
Rogers.
53-20 Rogers for the win.
Let's head out to Riesel. The Indians squaring off against the Cougars from JARRELL. Indians going to go to work on offense. Will McClintock hands off to Austin Searcy, breaks to the outside. Let's walk the dog here. It's 7-0 Riesel. Their next possession, McClintock going to take the snap, pump fakes. Oh yeah, that's always going to get him every time.
Love a good pump.
Watch this, wide open Stash Stewart. Love that name.
Boom.
14 zip, INDIANS. All right, JARRELL has to punt. Riesel goes back to work. The handoff you're going to see goes over to Donovan Blake, and he's going to cut back and just roll right into the end zone. Yeah, 20 zip at that point. Let's go to the big board. But how about this Riesel? Holy smokes, 37-34. They pull out a massive win. All right.
This week's Game of the Week is sponsored by Baylor Scott and White Health.
Let's go back out to Curtis Quill, and he's at Trojan Stadium. Curtis, what's the latest from there?
This game literally just ended as Robinson took a knee. 63-35 is the final. The Rockets move to 3-0 in their first true test of the season, and they do it in dominating fashion, winning this one against a physical and really, really good Troy team. This was a heck of a performance from Robinson, showing they can do this both ways. The Rockets, mostly known for their passing attack, they did this one mostly on the ground. They ran for twice as much as they threw the ball tonight. And Nick, you know as well as I do, that says a lot about what this Rocket team can really do. By the time we come back during the live stream, we'll have a live interview with Rocket head coach Tommy Allison as we present the Game of the Week championship trophy to the victorious Robinson Rockets. For now, live at Trojan Stadium, Curtis Quillen, Channel 6 Sports.
All right, thank you, Curtis. Hey, wild game out there. You know, at one time it was tied at 28. We thought we had a feeling that maybe it could go to a third straight year of an overtime, but
this was not.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right. Go ahead. Go ahead, take it.
All right. It was Friday the 13th and a full moon, and Academy was just looking spooky out there. Here we go. Look at that full moon, and they were excited. Look at the B. He was excited. All right, second quarter, Ken De Leon punt return for a touchdown. He took it all the way down the field for a touchdown, extending the Bobcats lead 20-0. But the Bees answered right back. Not yet. Here they go. Here they go. A pass from Colin Raz complete to Jaden Simmons for a 53-yard touchdown.
Man, some big-time plays.
I know.
On
These
this
were some
right
long
here.
plays going on. And their extra point was good, so it was 26 at that point. And right before the half, first and goal, Jabrion Robinson pushes his way into the end zone. It was 27-6 going into halftime, but it ended Hempstead 38, Academy 21, the final.
All right, then. Hey, we're wrapping up here, but you can follow us on our live stream coming up on KCNTV.com. That's on our Facebook page as well. We'll have our Gridiron Player of the Week. We'll have more post-game from Robinson and Troy, plus much more, and also a phoner interview with Shane Anderson, Conley's head coach. You do not want to miss that. Tune in our live stream portion. We'll see you back in 2.5 minutes.
Yes.
Friday Night Lights is brought to you by Baylor Scott and White Health.
That sponsor real quick. All right, welcome back to our live stream portion. Nick Canzalis alongside Nikki Lattarulo. We had a monster game of the week. Robinson, Troy.
Didn't go into overtime this time.
Yeah, the battle of unbeatens. It was a solid game throughout literally the first half and throughout the second half until Robinson pulled away. Let's head out to Trojan Stadium. That's where Curtis Quillen's been all night long. And he has the winning team, the Robinson Rockets. Take it away, Curtis.
Well, Nick, 63-35 is the final here in Troy. Robinson showing why it jumped from unranked preseason in 4A Division II to number 10 when the latest rankings came out on Monday. And with the win in their first true test of the season, and that's not me saying that, that's the man who's going to have this trophy in about 45 seconds. We present the Week 3 Game of the Week Championship Trophy to head coach Tommy Allison and the Robinson Rockets. I swear we're still back here. Hey, David, get out of the way. All right, Coach, we were talking before the game. You mentioned that you wanted to see just how good and what the potential of this team is. 48 minutes later, what's the answer to that question?
You know, I don't know still. Yeah, I do know that we were very resilient in the second half. You know, we made a lot of mistakes the first half, and we stand on 5 pillars, and one of them is being resilient. We were, and so I was proud of the adjustments that were made at halftime. And I'm proud of these kids. I'm proud of their effort. Guys, I mean that. I love these guys. I love what they're doing. So we got a chance to have a good football team. We still got a long ways to go. Tonight was a good night to be a Rocket.
You mentioned resilient. You guys were able to seize one opportunity at the beginning of the fourth quarter, control momentum in the fourth, and then score 21 unanswered to put this one away. How big was that for this team?
That was huge. You know, we got a great turnover down there. It was big, and we were able to score pretty quick. And then, man, we got excited on the sideline. Kids started making plays, and that was huge. And so, you know, these guys feed off. These guys love each other, and I think that's one of the biggest differences this year from teams in the past. They truly love each other. They want to be successful for each other. So that was fun. It's fun to celebrate together like that.
I know I don't have to tell you this. You've only got one game left to tune up for District 8 4A Division II, a district with seven teams. Like we said earlier, all of them can make deep runs in the playoffs. Salado opens it after a bye week. What do you guys need to do next week, going into that bye, to be ready for district play in 2 weeks?
Well, we got to keep getting better. We got to get better. You know, we've got about 12 turnovers in the first 3 games, and we had a bunch of personal fouls tonight, so we'll deal with that Monday as well. But we got some things we got to get better at. And our district is great, and so our number one goal is to beat Salado. That's number 1 on district, so we get a chance to get better next week, and then we'll get ready for Salado.
Awesome win tonight for you, Coach. Congratulations. Where is Joseph McHenry at? Behind me. All right. Quarterback Joseph McHenry, I lost count of your touchdowns. Did you happen to keep count of them at all?
No, sir.
Well, I mean, you guys were able to seize momentum in the second half. What changed after this game was back and forth in the first half that you guys were able to control this one from the minute you guys got that ball after Troy's punt?
The line, they were just resentless. We were resentless all night. And, you know, the defense stepped up big, and I guess we made plays.
What does this win say about this Rockets team? I mean, 3 weeks before you guys opened district play with Salado.
You know, I really think this win says that we are Robinson. We stand on those 5 pillars like Coach Allison said, and, you know, it's what it is.
What did you see out of this offense, especially tonight, that you guys, I mean, you guys are known for passing the ball. You did more tonight with the run than you did with the pass. What is that? What do you like about that?
You know, it's like what they're saying, dual threat. We're not just a passing offense. We can run the ball too.
Congratulations, Joseph. Jordan Rogers caught a few of those touchdowns that he was tossing through the air. I mean, you guys were able to do it both ways tonight, and you guys are an offense known more for the pass than the run. What does that say about this team?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that because, like, I don't want everybody to think we're just a passing offense because, like, we're dangerous on both sides. Running the ball, passing the ball, playing defense. We're doing really good at it at all.
Jordan, how do you guys build on this in your final non-district game next week? Remind me who you play again.
Whitney.
Whitney?
Yep.
I mean, Whitney's a good team, an athletic team, very similar to what you guys are going to see in district play. And then in 3 weeks, you open with Salado. What do you guys need to do in that Whitney game?
We need to prepare like we did this week. There'll be another good test for us, and we're ready for the battle, and let's get this dub again.
What did you see tonight that you guys need to build on going into district play?
Like Coach Allison said, the turnovers, like we need to work on that, and the defense was freaking awesome tonight. And shout out to them.
Congratulations on the win. 63-35 is the final. Robinson victorious in their first games in the poll in this season. They get a win over a very, very good Troy team that is going to contend for a district title. This is an impressive win tonight from Robinson. But, Nick, we'll talk about that when we talk big picture coming up in just a few minutes later in the show. For now, we're live with the victorious Robinson Rockets in Troy. Curtis Quillen, Channel 6 Sports.
Oh, I
Really having a good time.
I mean, Nikki, that was a big win.
That's like, you would think that it would maybe go into overtime again, and then they pull away, ended up winning, and they're scoring 60 points. That's crazy. That's
why they're ranked number 10 in the state. All right, look, speaking of ranked teams, number 5 MART, last week in our game of the week, upset by Holland.
Yep.
Taking on Franklin. What a great game in Robinson County. First possession, Kyler Martin looking for Dylan Lundy. Instead, he finds Datron Dixon. Mart making just uncharacteristic turnovers there. You take it back to the 5-yard line. Of course, Franklin turns the interception to points right there. Ethan Spiller, that's a touchdown, crosses the goal line. Mart, your defending state champions for a reason, though. Rodrill Freeman picks up an offer from Texas Tech this week. There he is picking up his first touchdown of the night. And then big number 10 is a man among boys in this level. More from Franklin, Bobby Washington. Finds a hole, big game for the home team. Then Marcus Wade pulls it out of Spiller's belly, pitches it to Malcolm Murphy. You'll see him last second cross the goal line. Franklin 20-16 at halftime, and that is the score that's going to end it. So Mart loses 2 straight, absolutely unbelievable.
All right, let's head out to Pirate Stadium where Crawford squared off against Rice. There's that moon again. Here we go. This game was all Pirates in the first half as Pirates quarterback Tate Allen hits his man who turns the corner and scoots right past the defender for the score. He goes right into the end zone. Next Bulldog possession, they caught it up and the Pirates recovered, setting their offense deep.
That was a nice fumble there.
I
Crawford on the offense now.
Later, here we go.
That's that fullback cashing it in right there, and then Crawford on the kickoff right there, coughs it up again. Nick, you can't have turnovers and keep having turnovers.
Turnover, and now here we go into the end zone. They get even closer, and the Bulldogs run across the goal line, go up 28-0, and they ended 28-7. The final. Crawford took that one.
Yeah, Valley Mills had a big win over Santo last week. Tonight, welcome DAWSON to J.C. Larkin Athletic Complex. Of course, the school passed the bucket for Lily, battling a serious illness. Long run by an Eagle running back down the sidelines right here to set up in deep in Bulldog territory. That's a nice run right there. Direct snap. The Eagles going to punch it in, literally punch it in. Look, there he is. That's great blocking up front for the touchdown. Next Eagle drive, facing 3rd and long. Eagles quarterback Braden Richardson airs it out to Joshua Garcia. Streaking on the sidelines. Whoa, gets suplexed out of bounds, WWE style. Later in the drive, option to the Eagles back. Almost able to turn the corner, but right on the doorstep. They're going to cash it in the next play with the direct snap. Valley Mills. Did they win tonight? No, they did not. Dawson, massive win, 41-19 final.
All right, Moody was in search of their first win of the season. The Bearcats played to host the Bulldogs from Hamilton. 1-1 Hamilton visiting the 0-2 Moody tonight at Bearcat Stadium. Opening drive, Bulldogs facing 4th down. He gets the pitch, takes the right side, but steps out of bounds. There we go. Just before giving the ball to Moody. All right, ensuing drive. Ryder finds Barrett Hubbard on the slant route for a 15-yard pickup, but the Bearcats would have to punt. Yep, they couldn't get it. Ensuing Hamilton drive. Colby Bailey in the shotgun, fires middle, checks the hands from Ty Biggs. 45 yards on the pitch and catch. Hamilton took a 7-0 lead, and they ended up
right now
only at half.
28-6 Hamilton. All right, over at Legion Field. Marlin scoring off against Groesbeck. Makai Smith. Snap deep to the receiver, Arturo Solito, but he's intercepted by Marlin.
Wow.
Those Bulldogs playing some defense right there. Tyde Pill takes the snap. Uh-oh, it's high. It's a fumble. Colby Weishausen recovers it for the Goats. Turnovers, they can kill you in these games. That leads off to Smith. Handed off to Terrell Kahn for the touchdown. That put the Goats up 22-19 fourth quarter, and that is where we ended it. Goats come away with a 3-point win. Scores from around Class 2A. Axtell, they fall to Thorndale 69-0. Bruce Valetti, big win over Chilton 31-13. Rosebud Lott, they fall to Rio Vista 24-6. We had no score reported for Frost and Itasca. And actually no score reported for Hubbard, Meridian, Granger, De Leon, Coleman, Goldthwaite. San Saba, though, they ran up the score there, 63-0 over Junction. And then Class A, we had no scores reported for Abbott, Aquila, Penelope, but did for Blum. They blow out Iredell 66-14.
And now scores from around Taps. Let's see. Oh, we don't have any. Bosqueville and Riker, San Marcos Baptist. Oh, here we go. Eagle Christian fell to Vanguard 26-14.
Wow. Let's see. Uh-oh, we got our coach calling right now, head coach from Connally. Shane Anderson, they won by 1 point over China Spring.
Yes, 1 point.
I'll tell you what, Connally, number 4 in the state of Texas, they were my dark horse. I said they were going to make some noise this season, and they have. They're out to a 3-0 start. And I think we do have head coach Shane Anderson on the line. Coach, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you, Nick.
All right. Well, Coach, talk about, 1 point win over China Spring. How does it feel to be 3-0 right now?
It feels unbelievable. So proud of these kids and coaches. And, fought through tons of adversity tonight. And just were very, very resilient, never gave up. And found a way to pull it out against a very, very good football team.
And what did you like about your team's effort tonight?
Like I said, they were just resilient, didn't give up. I mean, we faced all kinds of adversity. Javion went out in the first half, got into halftime. We're able to do some things with him to get him back in the game. Lost our Mike linebacker to an ankle early in the second half, had to plug in a backup there. Fought through some penalties, just all kinds of things. And like I said, anytime you're on the road in an environment like China Spring with the tradition they have and, the coaching staff that they have, it's a tough place to win.
That next man up mentality, when you have guys go down and somebody slides in their place and you don't miss a beat, was that some of the positives that you saw out of your team tonight?
No doubt. There's a lot of positives that, I keep telling people, and I've been very, very blessed in my career to be a part of, tradition-rich programs and make deep playoff runs. And when you go a couple rounds each year in the playoffs, and those kids that are JV and freshman kids get to come along and be a part of those practices, it ends up paying off for you in games like this. And they, last year a lot of these kids that were back up tonight were JV players and got in against Bullard in the playoffs. And so they've seen varsity speed and they've seen that game speed. And so it's not a culture shock to them. They just get in there and do what they do.
And what did you see tonight that you think you guys need to work on before you travel to Gatesville next week?
Just fundamentals up front on both sides of the ball. Pad level, hats off to China Spring and their offensive and defensive line. They got after us. And, our pad level on the D-line could have been better. And then they did some things defensively, try to throw us off and did a real good job of scheming us up. And, our coaches did an outstanding job of making adjustments at halftime.
Coach, you guys don't shy away from playing anybody and everybody. I mean, how important is it to play a tough non-district schedule that always helps you prepare for district play?
Yeah, it does. It does. Like I said, we've, and the tough deal is, we used to play La Vega week 5, and we went into a 17 lead, and so we lost that game. But, you're still playing the likes of Glenrose last week, China Spring this week. Palestine's a tradition-rich program. And then we got Gatesville. We got to go to Gatesville, so we got back-to-back road games, to end the non-district schedule.
Coach, how long do you kind of savor this win before you go back in the film room? I know probably tomorrow and kind of take a look at everything and then get your mind set up for next week.
No, we're going to go in this locker room and party like rock stars. Like I said, they got the music going in there right now. I just walked out and I remembered I was supposed to call y'all, so I came out to call you guys. As soon as I get off the phone, we're going to go in there and celebrate and enjoy this and love these kids up and, just make sure they know how much we appreciate them and how proud of them we are.
Well, Coach, go celebrate with the guys. Tell them congratulations on that big win. And, again, you guys were my dark horse. I told everybody at the beginning of the season that you guys are going to go far and shock a lot of people. Number 4 in the state. You have not let me down yet, and I don't expect you to let me down the rest of the season.
No, we appreciate it. Like I said, I don't really look at the paper, but for some reason I looked at it this morning and had a couple guys pick against us, and so I let the kids know, our word of the week was respect, and to gain the respect we want as a program, you got to beat people like China Spring at China Spring. So we're super proud of the kids.
Massive road win. Head coach Shane Anderson, thank you for joining us. Big time. Go out and have a party. And,
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a party.
Drink a couple of bottled waters for us right now because we're sweating
Yes,
in the studio.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Bye.
All right, that was head coach Shane Anderson. I mean, he's fired up. They're having a massive party.
China Springs is that's a big competition right there.
Yeah, especially on the road. I mean, you know,
home.
they're number 4 in the state, but China Springs, you know, it's a little bit bigger school.
They had that big win.
Yeah.
The first week, and now.
Tell you what, that's a monster win.
You said it about them.
And they're going to go to Gatesville coming up next week. All right, now it's time for the one thing I love seeing, because we spotlight a lot of guys throughout the entire week, is our Gridiron Player of the Week.
Yes. And last week, Lorena proved what they can do and what they will do all this season with a win over Franklin. So A.J. Brem is our Player of the Week. He scored 5 touchdowns, which is a career high during that game, and that's why we chose him. Friday night, the Lorena Leopards took full control in a 42-21 win over Franklin. That win trumped their opening week loss to China Spring. Head coach Ray Biles felt his guys were locked in leading up to that matchup.
I thought they did a great job in preparation. I mean, you've got to be able to go out and practice hard before you can play hard. And I thought last week, you know, the kids got cut in on what we had to do, and we had to get off to a much better start. You know, we were so far behind in that first ball game that, you know, we didn't leave ourselves any wiggle room.
A.J. Brem was a huge part of Lorena's success. The senior running back racked up 129 yards rushing while scoring a career high of 5 touchdowns.
Offensive line is really opening up the holes Friday night. They really improved a lot from the first week, and they got to step it up again this week so we can get better and better every week.
He did a heck of a job. He didn't slow down throughout the end of the game. He stayed through, and he really helped us win that game for sure.
The team's confidence level was pretty low after starting the season 0-1. Brem knew as a senior it was on him to step up and be a leader.
I've been playing on this team for like the last 3 years, and all the people older than us have really just led, and I know I had to step up in the role this year.
After coaching A.J. the past 3 seasons, Ray Biles couldn't help but smile when he was asked what's next for him.
A.J.'s a fun guy. Like I said, he gets the ball in his hands, he plays hard, and I can imagine out outside the realm of Lorena High School, he's going to go out there and play hard as well. So anyway, he's a good kid. He's a good worker for us.
How about those Lorena Leopards?
Yes.
And he had a big touchdown catch.
He had a long touchdown, so we'll see what he does for the rest of the season. But that whole team, they're going to do big things, I think.
I know they will. All right, let's go back out to Curtis Quillen. Actually, one more time. Say that one more time, Courtney.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, Curtis, he's live at Trojan Stadium. Of course, Robinson has a big win, but we're talking about Lorena Leopards here. They had a big win. I mean, a big come from behind win. What do you think about that?
Come from behind, an upset win on the road at number 7 Lampasas with third-year starting quarterback Ace Whitehead guiding the Badgers. That is a statement win for Lorena if I've ever seen one. Excuse me. This Leopard team did not play very well against China Spring in our Week 1 game of the week. That's not me saying that. That's the Lorena coaching staff after that game. But then last week, they beat top 10 Franklin, a 3A Division I team at home, a really good Franklin team. Then this week, go on the road and beat Lampasas. That is a statement win, Nick, if I've ever seen it. And I think it's safe to say the Leopards are back on the map going into that non-district finale next week against Teague before they open district play, I want to say with Robinson.
I'll tell you what, that was big because I was going through it. I didn't realize that, of course, A.J. Brem had that late touchdown to put them up, their first lead of the game. They're rocking and rolling. Are you okay out there? Hopefully, how about Connally? Connally goes on the road and defeats China Spring by one point. Shane Anderson said it was unbelievable. They're actually partying in the locker room right now as we speak.
Wow. You know, we had that game on our radar too, Nick, when we were talking games of the week. Yeah. China Spring Connally. And I think that one lived up to the hype just like this one did. I mean, these two teams out here tonight, because keep in mind, District 8 4A Division II, top to bottom. You ready? It's 7 teams. It's Robinson, it's Connally, it's Lorena, it's Salado, it's Madisonville, and it's Fairfield, and it's Mahia. Those are 7 of the most athletic teams in 4A Division II. Those are 7 of the deepest teams in 4A Division II. I'm not surprised that Connally beat China Spring. I think that win says something more about Connally than it does China Spring. Because looking at it on paper, I know China Spring is a bigger school, but Connally has just a little bit more developed talent. They've got 3 Power 5 guys who are all seniors on this year's cadet squad. And China Spring, don't get me wrong, the Cougars are poised to make a run this year, and tonight does not change my belief on that. However, I think the Cougars are more set up for next year, maybe the year after, than they are for this year, like Connally is. I think you mentioned it, and I want to address this in a sec, too. I think that this is the year for Connally. If there was a year that the cadets could knock off Pleasant Grove to win 4A Division II Region 2, because the defending state runner-up, the state champion from 2 years ago, looms in Region 2. That is a second round game for the 2 seed out of District 8 and a potential 3rd or 4th round game depending on other seeding spots out of District 8. Pleasant Grove does loom. I think if the cadets are going to make a run and get out of the region and into a semifinal, this is the year, because Nick, they are the most talented team in all of 4A. And I know I'm not the only one who thinks that. I know you're trying to call them a dark horse, but Nick, they were number 6 in the preseason poll.
I know.
They were a top 10 team. How are you going to call them a dark horse?
Well, because, I mean, you know, they haven't been on the radar.
Yeah, but that's what makes it good.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't
Thank you,
want to have
Nikki.
the predictions.
Hey, you know,
I think they've been on the radar since week 12 last year when they won their first playoff game. I'm trying to remember. It was, what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
And I think people saw that the guys who were doing it, the guys who were doing it in that game, and I can't remember who they beat. I just know they played Pleasant Grove the week after that. But they were juniors. They were sophomores. And I think everybody saw that and knew that Connally had a real chance this year. Shane Anderson's got something cooking, and they're going to be scary if they can keep building toward district and stay healthy, because at the small school ranks, you know as well as I do, staying healthy matters. And if they can stay healthy, that potential regional final between Pleasant Grove and Connally, that's, for lack of a better term, and this is going to be a weird one, and I'm stealing it from Dave Campbell's Texas Football, that's a tasty matchup right there.
Hey, speaking of Shane Anderson, I'm going to eat what he's cooking. Now, real quick, though, you know, for Nikki and I, we weren't out there at the game of the week. Your quick assessment on both teams, and what do they bring to the table before district play starts?
Troy is physical. Troy has the potential to be the most physical team in District 10 3A Division I, and that is saying something, Nick, because Rockdale won a state championship 2 years ago. Cameron Yo is a top 5 team in 3A Division I, but they're a little bit more spread than Troy is. But Troy proved tonight that they are capable of throwing the ball. They're mostly a ground and pound team because they've got a 2,000-yard running back in Zach Herbacek. They've got 3 of their starting linemen from last year who are starting right now. Another one of those other 2 is injured, and the 5th one got a lot of playing time last year, so they almost have their entire offensive line back that helped Herbacek get that 2,000-yard season. I don't think this game guides me to think anything less of Troy, that's for sure, and I'm very serious when I say that I think Troy could potentially be the most physical team in District 10 3A Division I. This is a team that is going to go out on the field. They're going to try and take a sledgehammer to you. They want you to be gassed in the 4th quarter. They made that very clear tonight. It was until Robinson proved that they could gut it up the middle just like Troy could, where it started wearing on them, because Robinson is a bigger school. They do have more numbers. I'm more impressed with Robinson, and that's not taking anything away from Troy. They are a very, very good team. I think because of depth, they ran out of gas toward the end of this game. Losing Ben Presley to cramps there in the 3rd quarter might have taken a little bit out, except that Troy scored on the next drive. So I don't know what to make of that. But Robinson, right or wrong, they're known more as an air raid team. They like to spread the field, and they like to find holes in the defense that way. But tonight, they did it on the ground. At halftime, they had twice as many rushing attempts as they did passing attempts. And that caught me off guard. Now, I know Tommy Allison was Adrian Peterson's offensive coordinator in high school, so I know he does like to run the ball. But that did catch me off guard a little bit. If Robinson can play that way in district, do you want to take a guess on who's going to be in the playoffs? Because I don't.
Hey,
I really don't.
Knows Robinson's playing super,
I mean,
super well.
Salado dropped 50 tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, Salado dropped 50
they
tonight.
Did play
they
Austin
can
Travis.
score
I
bunches.
mean,
They did the same thing to Academy last week, too.
Myself, Nikki, and Foster in here, we can beat them with 4 of us here. No knocking Austin Travis, but they're just not good. They're not good. But
I mean,
come on.
They're one of those. I hate to say it, but unfortunately, they're a program that needs a jolt. And so you go out there and you go, okay, can we avoid a collapse in this one, right? And Salado avoided that collapse. So you do have to look at it. Okay, Academy's a really good team. They scored a lot on Academy. Well, Austin Travis, not a very good team. Salado avoided the trap. Excuse me, my allergies are awful right now. They avoided the trap. They avoided the collapse against Austin Travis. Mejia looks real good right now because that's a team that beat a very good Troy team, and they went to Cameron Yo and took a 14-0 lead. This district is just, it's a crapshoot, man.
Yeah.
I think I would have better chances of winning some sort of slot machine jackpot in Vegas than I would at guessing the playoff finishers out of District 8. Because, I mean, you look at, I told Coach Allison before the game, I'm like, your district fascinates me. It really does. You've got Lorena, which is a spread team, Robinson, which is a spread team. Connally is one of those spreads that focuses on the run because they've got JV on Sunday. And honestly, if I had JV on Sunday and I was an offensive coordinator, and Ryan Fight's nodding his head behind the camera right now because he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking.
Shout out to Ryan Fight.
Yeah, I'd run it first too.
This long.
Like, Mejia's got athletes, Salado's got athletes, and they've got the hardest offense in the district to guard. It's the triple option, either out of the flex bone or the wing tee. I'm not an offensive expert. I know that's going to shock you, he said sarcastically. But, I mean, Salado's is the hardest offense in the district to guard because you only see it once every year. If you're Lorena, you see it twice because they schedule Franklin specifically to prepare for Salado. But then you've got a bunch of other spread teams. I think if Robinson can play that way, I think they can compete for a district title, but I think there's 6 other teams that can compete for a district title if they continue on the track they are on as well. I mean, just looking at the score, Nick, what are your thoughts on District 8 4A Division II? Because I think that's the district we're going to be talking about every single week until the season ends.
Well, I mean, you said it's wide open. Anybody can win on any given Friday night. I believe that, and it just depends on who's playing at the right time. Because if you're one of the leaders in the pack, I mean, you might slip up and trip up and have a bad game, and then somebody's going to come up. But I mean, honestly, we won't even know anything until probably a couple of games into district play on who is doing what and who is.
This could mean nothing.
That's true.
I mean, we could, but also I feel like
Right.
once it gets to district, that's when we'll see who the actual leading teams are.
Just staying
Right
healthy
now,
as well.
anything can
Staying
happen.
healthy.
You bring up a really, really good point. These games tell us a lot, nothing all at the same time, especially in that 4A Division II district. That's a really good point.
I think anyone could
I
take
actually
it.
wholeheartedly agree with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
It can go, I
you're
think,
right.
either way. I mean,
I
I've
think
been
that's
to
what
games.
makes this district so.
I don't know. I've been to the games with a lot of these teams playing, and it's like they're blowing them out at one point, and then the other team comes from behind, or opposite way around. So I think right now you don't know exactly if this is how it's going to be, because we could look back on this and be like, wow, we thought this was going to be this team, and it could be somewhere else. This is really early on.
Yeah. Well, Curtis,
it is, and I think if you're Troy, you look at.
Go
I
ahead.
think if you're and going back to Troy, I don't want to just randomly pivot. I mean, they've got Hillsborough next week on the road. I don't want to say that that's a get-right game because Hillsborough is also 4A Division II, but they're out west. They're in Region 1. I don't want to say it's a get-right game, but, I mean, Hillsborough's not a powerhouse. Robinson's program has played in state championship games. They've had coaches whose brothers are FBS coaches. They've had I mean, Robinson is a much more prestigious program than Hillsborough is. So, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm saying that Hillsborough game next week is a get-right game. But I do think that Troy can get right in it before they go into district play, because what is it, Nick? The 27th they play Cameron.
Yeah, that's it.
At Yo Field.
Should be a good one.
And I guarantee you, both these teams have that one circled. I mean, we've got it circled.
Yeah, no doubt we do. Well, my man, I don't want the lights cut off on you
no,
like we did
we can't
last
be having
week.
that again.
We can't be having that. But again, incredible job out there. That's why we call him the human encyclopedia.
He literally
because
is the high school
he knows
football
everything going on. The guru. You'll see him going on nationwide. But Curtis,
I've still got a high school football game on my DVR from last night that I've got to finish.
See,
so
like,
that gives me time to do
That's
down
when
film.
you know. This is
that.
like what he does.
Breaking down film.
Yes.
Excellent job. Hey, listen, another great pick for Game of the Week.
Yes.
And
we're really
we
good.
will be rocking and rolling next
week.
week.
We picked the good ones.
All right.
Because we've always, I think every game of the week we've had so far has been a good game.
Yeah, it has been. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Week 3 in the books. Week 4 next week. Baylor Bears do not play tomorrow, but UMHB does. They have
First
the season
game.
opener
Yep.
against Albright College. Cowboys take on the Redskins on the road. They should win. Your Chiefs, who do they play? You don't even know who they play. You're not a true fan, so forget you.
Check
Foster
your
says,
fantasy teams.
yeah, fantasy teams, Pat Mahomes, Zeke Elliott.
Okay, Pat Mahomes,
rock and rolling.
go.
All right. Well, Nick Gonzalez for Nikki Latarillo,
Yes.
Curtis Quillen, Ryan Fight, everybody who helps us out in the entire station. We
Yes.
thank you guys. Look forward to week number 4 next week, and we'll see you under the lights.